my lovely little gemstones, it's Afira, and today I'll be reading Self-Love Chapter 3 by Parallel Monsoon. Chapter 3, Virgil. It makes Virgil nervous. Well, obviously. He eyes Thomas with suspicion when he says he just wants to listen to music together, stalks about with his shoulders up by his ears when Thomas tries to show him a conspiracy video. He looks like something hunted, something wounded but fierce, more than capable of putting up a fight. "All right, buddy," Thomas says after a less than successful attempt at getting Virgil to settle long enough to watch The Secret of Nim. "I'll see you soon." He puts his hand on Virgil's shoulder as he moves to stand, means to squeeze, a friendly goodbye. In retrospect, he really should have warned him. Virgil manages a spot-on impression of a startled cat. One moment he's by the couch, the next he's 10 feet back, chest heaving, staring at Thomas with impossibly wide eyes. "Dude," he breathes. "What the absolute fuck?" It's his Tempest voice, double and tripling, and Thomas shouldn't laugh. He really, really shouldn't. But he does, because it's Virgil, and Thomas just loves him so damn much. That's nothing new, of course, but the more time he spends with the sides one-on-one, the more that feeling grows. He feels bubbly with it, sometimes. A fizzing pop just underneath the skin, like he's a can of soda that's been given a good shake. It tickles, makes it easier to smile wider, laugh louder. Who knew love could be exponential? Exponential. He'll have to share that with Logan later. He'll be proud. "Yeah." Thomas raises his hand and flexes his fingers. "Sorry, I guess that's a thing now. Patton helped me figure it out." He gestures at Virgil, a come-hither wave. The way Virgil edges his way over sideways only heightens his resemblance to a spooked feline. Thomas reaches out, slow and steady, giving Virgil ample time to move away if he chooses. He takes him by the shoulder again, staying with him when he flinches. "Pretty cool, huh?" He can feel the tension in him, a high-tension thrum that makes Thomas's own bones ache. He lets his hand settle a little heavier and rubs tiny circles with his thumb on Virgil's collarbone. He's surprised when Virgil shudders and leans into it, just a tiny press back into the pressure. He doesn't quite relax, not at all, really, but a little of the brittleness fades. Thomas dares a little pat. Too much, too fast. Virgil pulls away with something like a gasp. "Yeah," he says, and he can't quite look Thomas in the eyes. "It's cool, or whatever, I guess. Catch you later, Tommyknocker." It's always so unsettling how Virgil can be there and then simply not. Thomas waits out the faint queasiness it causes and considers. "Well now, that was interesting." Thomas starts off small, ruffling Virgil's hair when he passes by, nudging him gently with an elbow when he gets sassy. Fleeting little touches, always telegraphed so Virgil can avoid them if he wishes. Virgil never does. Thomas knows the sides can touch each other. He's even seen Patton hug the others. But he's also witnessed Virgil ducking away, shielding himself with crossed arms and a glower. Of course, Patton had apologized, and he can't remember him trying again after that. Thomas realizes that may well be when the high fives started. And of course, Patton would do his best to accommodate what he must have assumed was an aversion. Only, Virgil is very much not averse. It softens him every time. Thomas leans in close to point out an iffy line in a script and rests his hand on Virgil's arm as he does. Virgil stiffens. He always does it first. Goes razor wire taut, and then he still doesn't quite relax. Just softens. Unknots himself and yields just slightly. It's subtle and heady. It feels like something earned. Thomas suspects that Patton had simply moved too fast. He thinks of a book he read as a child. There was a boy and a fox, and the fox had taught the boy to tame him. Patience had been the key, and Thomas is learning just how patient he can be. Every day he finds excuses to touch Virgil. Every day, Virgil stiffens less and softens more. One night, Thomas convinces him that they should do each other's nails. Thomas goes first, and he takes his time with it, turns it into more of a manicure, telling Virgil he needs the practice for his upcoming home spa day with Talon. He clips and files and rubs in lotion, and when he chances a glance, Virgil's eyes have gone half-hooded. He's breathing very slowly, Virgil, and his face is still. He looks calm. When it's his turn, Virgil has to shake himself back awake. His hands are trembling, though they're steady as he works. He's gentle, always so gentle, so careful of Thomas. It's very quiet there in the bathroom, an almost church silence, and it does feel sacred somehow, this stretched-out moment between them. Virgil applies the last coat of gloss, and Thomas tries to hide his disappointment. He admires the work while he can. It's all imaginary, of course, and will fade as soon as he loses focus. But for now, damn, Thomas whistles. Nice. A rainbow gradient. Not just every nail a different color, but every nail varying in hue from base to tip. He half regrets his own enthusiasm when Virgil startles. Not badly, but the spell is most definitely broken. Thomas can already see him withdrawing into himself. He'll be more distant now for a good few days at least, and that's okay. It scares him, being vulnerable, and he always seems to need a little space to recover. So the next time Thomas summons him, there's a new Mothman documentary on Netflix, so of course Thomas is going to watch it and scare himself silly. He doesn't press, just pats the other side of the sofa, leaving plenty of space so Virgil won't feel trapped. He'd forgotten how brave his anxiety can be. Virgil throws himself down in a sprawl, stuffs a pillow under his head, and pulls his legs up so they're draped across Thomas's lap. Thomas blinks, twists his head to hide his grin, and drops a hand on Virgil's knee. He jostles him a little, thumb slipping through a tear in the denim to rub circles there. Ready to never sleep again? Bring the noise, Virgil says, and that delicious fizz pop makes Thomas laugh for no real reason at all. Still, there are bad days. Thomas knows that Virgil has been having problems adjusting to the new normal inside Thomas's head. He's come to an uneasy truce with Janice, but there's some history between them, an old wound that neither one can stop poking at. It's getting better, Patton tells him. Better, but not good. Not yet, anyways. So there are days when Thomas wakes with his nerves prickling across his shoulders and a tension that's not his own at his temples. There are days when he calls for Virgil and Virgil doesn't show, sending Patton to make excuses in his stead. Those are the days when Virgil locks himself away, when he goes to ground, curling up small in his room and hoarding his worries so they don't bother Thomas more than they already do. It makes Thomas ache because the others can't help him there, can't cross the threshold without falling prey to corruption. Wait, they can't. Thomas can. He's angry at himself for taking so long to realize such a simple thing. He closes his eyes and thinks of Virgil. Anxious, worried, brave, fierce Virgil. And it's easier this time because he already knows the way. He's in the bedroom when he closes his eyes, and in the bedroom when he opens them. Just a different bedroom. A bedroom where the shadows under his bed loom large and threatening, and the alarm is buzzing. Always buzzing. A low but persistent reminder that they'll never be on time. Virgil's curled on the bed, breathing too fast, too shallow, and the skin under his eyes is black as pitch. His eyes are squeezed shut, and there's no way to do this that won't scare holy hell out of him. Thomas clears his throat. Virgil doesn't resemble a cat this time so much as a mink, all sinew and thrashing. He gets himself tangled in the quilt and has to fight his way out. I told you to get out! Virgil's own voice falters when he sees Thomas. The reverb beneath keeps going a moment longer. And, okay, that's 9 levels of creepy right there. Nope, Thomas says, cheerfully popping the pea. You're stuck with me, buddy. It's not that Virgil's anxiety isn't feeding his own. It very much is, and already Thomas feels like he could vibrate out of his own skin. But it's also already his. It can't corrupt him because it's already a part of him. It's just that sometimes Virgil feels it for him, and that's not going to fly anymore. He ignores Virgil's protests and clambers up onto the bed, hauls him in, and sure, now they're both kind of a mess and breathing quick, and maybe Thomas feels a little like he's dying, but somehow it's okay. He knows it's just a feeling and that it will pass. They can ride this out together. He finally gets Virgil tucked in close with his head under Thomas's chin. Oh, just stop, he says when Virgil tries to wiggle his way free. I'll tell everyone you fought to the bitter end, okay? This is better. You know this is better. And wonders of wonders, Virgil stills, lets himself be held, and even snuggles closer. They hold each other when they want to shake to pieces. They count together and name sights and sounds and tastes together, and it sucks, sure, but it's fine. We're fine, Thomas says aloud, and it's true. The worst of it is over. Just a flash fire storm, and those are violent but never last long. He presses a quick kiss to the top of Virgil's head and dodges his swat with a laugh. Want to go paint nails? Virgil wipes at his snotty nose with his wrist. Gross, he mumbles, and the shadows under his eyes are deep and dark, but more gray now than black. He wipes the evidence on Thomas's shirt and slides off the bed. You coming? He says over Thomas's indignant squawking. And still, for as far as they've come together, Thomas knows he can't just leave it there. With the others there was room, sometimes, to leave things unsaid. Not with Virgil. There could be no uncertainty, no doubt, no hook where fear could snag and tangle. So, I don't care that you were a dark side. There's no particular reason that Thomas chooses that night over any other. Virgil's scrolling on his phone, half turned to lean back against him, and Thomas feels all that lost brittleness come snapping back. He doesn't speak, just tenses, a wary sort of waiting that breaks Thomas's heart. No, that's not true, he corrects. I do care. I'm not going to tell you that you aren't the same person. Who you were then, that was Virgil too, and I care about Virgil. And I know that no matter what name you went by, and no matter what you did, you were trying to protect me. Maybe you got things wrong, but Patton gets things wrong too. So do I. We all do. I care about the Virgil who gets things wrong and tries to do better and fights so hard to keep us all safe. You have always been that Virgil. He thinks it's pretty good, as speeches go. His satisfaction only grows when Virgil relaxes is almost too mild of a word. He melts. Lets Thomas take his weight, all of it, twisting a little to hide his face against Thomas's face. Shut up, he whines, muffled. Oh my God, you're such a dork. Yeah, Thomas grins, using his nails to scritch the nape of Virgil's neck to make him shiver. And you're part of me. So what does that say about you, tough guy? Thank you all so much for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you like what you hear and you want to read more, you can find the link to the fic in the description. If you want to check out other podfics I've done, you can click on the playlist linked on the screen. See you next time!